Hey folks, IronHeart here. In this video, you'll see gameplay from the most recent public test environment for Hell Let Loose, featuring the new Night and Dusk map variants for many of the existing maps in the game. Be aware that the release of patch 14.4 has been pushed back 1 week to Thursday, October 19th. Besides the night modes for maps like Carentan, Samariglis, Utah Beach, Hill 400, Drael, Kharkov and Stalingrad, our Beach and El Alamein, this patch should finally also introduce a fix for the dreaded loadout bug. This bug has been around forever and would cause players to spawn in with the wrong loadout, not one that they picked, but then you would be unable to change from that loadout that you were stuck on. I played a couple of matches on the PTE and I didn't experience this loadout bug, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they finally sorted it. The other big part of patch 14.4 is the reintroduction of the dive to prone feature. This mechanic allows players to dive to the ground while moving, whether they are crouched or in an upright stance. Currently, players have to stop moving and then hit the go prone key or button for console players to get down to prone position. Players will remember that this was initially introduced with update 14 back in May 2023, which brought in the British forces. Now that update had major issues, and sadly, dive to prone was one of them. In its original incarnation, dive to prone was quite unrealistic. You could repeatedly dive and immediately get back up and dive again, and keep doing this while zigzagging with the then increased running speed to avoid getting shot. The distance players would slide during the animation was also comical, and the action of diving to the ground didn't seem to affect your ability to aim down the sights at all, and allows you to pick off targets without any penalty to your aim immediately after diving. Frankly, it was a bit of a disaster, and the dive to prone and running speed increased were removed soon after. But now, dive to prone is back, having had some much needed adjustments. From the first person and third person perspective, dive to prone feels much better. You don't slide at a ridiculous distance, which often left me sliding through garrisons I was trying to run up to. You now cannot repeat the dive to prone action for a couple of seconds after completing it, and there have been allegedly measures introduced to prevent players from easily being able to fire off accurate shots immediately after hitting the ground. Now, while I think dive to prone has greatly improved, there are still some tweaks I would like to see before the patch goes live. As you can see from the gameplay footage, it is possible for players to dive during the dive process and spin around 180 degrees. This doesn't feel or look realistic to me, from either the third or first person perspective. According to Team 17, there is supposed to be some sort of friction going on. They stated, players will now carry momentum throughout, which means you'll be unable to change direction mid-dive and instead only be able to control direction once friction with the ground is gradually re-established on landing. Now, I don't think that's working as intended, as you can see. Also, it doesn't seem like some of the countermeasures they said they would introduce to nerf aiming straight after diving to prone are working as intended either. Team 17 said, "We have disabled aiming down to sights for a duration on landing, as well as introducing a camera shake that is triggered on contact with the ground." In my experience in the PTE for this patch, it doesn't seem like there is much of anything preventing you from aiming down the sights immediately after diving, and as you can see, there isn't much of a camera shake either when you hit the deck. If Team 17 can fix these issues, I think the dive to prone feature will be a welcome addition to player movement and maneuvering in Hell Let Loose. It just needs a little bit more of a tweak. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of these changes and of the night maps in general. Let me know if you've had a chance to play them on the PTE. Yeah. recon tank on the rail tracks to your right. Jag, there's a recon tank. I got burned alive. Shit.
There is on cable is the bridge.
That's replacing another tank. That's on the tank.